Hey guys, this is Ashish Goel from Pediatrics Board Review, and I am very excited to talk to you about MOCA-Peds as well as MOCA-PBR. So what is MOCA-Peds? Well, there's been a lot of reform in the world of recertification. That goes for not only pediatrics, but a lot of other fields as well. And so for pediatrics, I really feel like the ABP has nailed it on the head, and they're doing something very exciting now. Once you're board certified, you need to maintain your certification. And that's what MOC stands for, Maintenance of Certification. Now, traditionally, the only option that you had was to sit down for a traditional 4-hour exam at a Prometric testing center and take 2 blocks very similar to the initial certification blocks that you were used to taking. Okay. Yes, the questions were a little bit easier, but still a very traditional feel to them. Now you have a very different option. With MOCA-Peds, you have the option to actually do a sit-down experience in your own home. So you get to sit down at home. So this is an at-home experience instead of going into a test center, okay? So that's one of the biggest differences that you have available to you now with the MOCA-Peds option. What's something else? So the traditional MOC has approximately 170 questions that you take basically in that one sitting, right? You have block number 1, you take a break, you have block number 2, over the course of those 4 hours, you take your 170 questions and then you finish up and then you go home. It's a proctored exam. With MOCA-Peds, it's a very different experience. You are going to have approximately 20 questions per quarter that you are required to go through, but you can decide to do just 1 question a day if you want to. So it's absolutely amazing. Instead of having the burden of having to worry about 170 questions in a single day, you could literally just do 1 question today, no questions for a few days, and then knock out another 5 if you want. But the goal is to go ahead and finish your 20 questions by the end of each quarter. All right, what's another big difference? So with the traditional MOC, when it comes to what you have to learn in order to take that exam, you pretty much have to look at everything in the world of pediatrics again. You're not really sure what it is that you are going to be tested on. So for PBR members, our PBR course study guide and Q&A book actually probably has about 2,500 topics in it that you want to review for the initial certification exam or for the traditional MOC exam. With MOCA-Peds, it's a very different scenario. You actually only have 40 to 45 learning objectives. These learning objectives change every single year. And so then now you are required to learn about 40 to 45 new learning objectives. At 20 questions per quarter, that's approximately 80 questions per year. There is a little bit of wiggle room and it might vary depending on your performance in a quarter. That's why I keep saying approximately. But the 80 questions that you are going to get over the course of a year are drawn from only 40 to 45 learning objectives. So instead of having to worry about 2,500 topics, you only have to worry about 40 to 45 learning objectives. Now, each one of these learning objectives may be associated with 2, 3, 4, or even 5 topics, but overall, you're looking at having to review a fraction of the amount of information that you would have previously had to review for the traditional MOC exam. What else? Another one of the big differences is that with the traditional MOC, it's a closed book exam. You get about 75 seconds per question. So it's that stressful kind of situation. You go in, you take the exam, and that stress is on you at times. With the new MOCA-Peds option, it's actually an open book exam, open book and open computer. And instead of 75 seconds per question, you actually get 5 minutes per question. So you can use things like UpToDate, you can use Google, you can use Wikipedia, you can go wherever you want to go ahead and answer that question, but you just have to answer the question within about 5 minutes. So that leads me to talk to you about MOCA-PBR. So what is MOCA-PBR? So MOCA-PBR is not only a study guide, but it's also a test companion. So what we've done is we've taken those 40 to 45 learning objectives as outlined by the American Board of Pediatrics, and we have created a concise overview of just those 40 to 45 learning objectives. We've taken things from our PBR course study guide. We've taken things from other resources. We've compiled all of it into one very easy to use resource that you can use to review those 40 to 45 learning objectives. And once you review them, you will be ready to go ahead and take on the MOCA-Peds questions. And while you're going through the MOCA-Peds questions, you have access to the online area so that you can very efficiently access the information that you previously went over. So do you want to be fumbling around Google, Wikipedia, up to date to find an answer? No. With MOCA-PBR, you'll be able to very quickly zero in on which learning objective that you know that the question is related to, and then very quickly look at each of the topics related to that particular learning objective. And also, this is a great time to let you know that we are offering an amazing opportunity right now. Because this whole thing is so new and people are just transitioning into MOCA-Peds, we want you guys to be our early adopters of MOCA-PBR. And what we are going to do for our early adopters is allow you to not only try before you buy, but if you go ahead and sign up soon, you will get a lifetime freeze on the amount that you pay for MOCA-PBR forever. Other companies are already charging in the range of $350 to $650 for their MOCA study guides, which I think is absolutely insane. We are going to offer you this resource for something very inexpensive, and you get to lock in that particular annual subscription forever, regardless of any future increases. All right, now how about a demo of MOCA-PBR?